All right. Well, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Ross. This is Cason, and we got special guest Harrison on with us today. This is the Ridin The Line Podcast. We're stoked on this event. Cason's got him a banquet already. I'm jealous. I literally just ran in the door from a day of whitewater. So it's been a full go day. Kaysen has obviously been doing some remodeling, as you can see with the jerseys in the background. So he's had some leisure time today, and it looks like Harrison might be on the road over there. So,
No, I just moved in here. I'm in my kitchen right now.
oh, okay,
So
so he's in
I've
a new
yet to
house. There
like
we go.
move my stuff into where it's gonna be permanently, but yeah.
Well, right on. Well, t today we got some fun stuff going down. Pretty excited about this. Harrison, myself and Kaysen, like myself and Kaysen have met, obviously, but I don't think either one of us has met Harrison. We're all kind of riding blind on this one, as we were just kind of talking about before the show. So if nothing else, it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So Harrison is, I guess he kind of heads up Gravity Carolinas.
Yeah.
We've got a race this weekend over at Jared's place. So I got a downhill race going down over there. So I'm gonna throw it straight to you, Harrison. Tell us a little bit, just about what you guys are doing at Gravity Carolinas, kind of the setup of the race, the schedule,
Yeah.
and how you got involved with it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, we can just take it from the top, where a couple years ago I was working at a motorcycle dealership and there was this big push to push sales into the e-bike department, and I was like, it was pretty much just gave them the idea of like, hey, let's just put on some races at the local bike park, like 30 minutes down the road in Charlotte. And then we did, and it worked out. It was cool. And then they didn't back it the following year. Well, actually, midway through the series, I left for just it just wasn't working over there. So I left and I kept running the race series. And then the following year came and I'm like, what am I going to do? Decided to do it again. It was, I would say, successful in the way where it broke even. We didn't have any sponsorship backing or anything like that. It was kind of just bootstrapped. And I'm like, cool, this is breaking even. What if I push this further? Like, what's gonna happen, right? And you come into this space where mountain biking is really, really niche. And I mean, in the Southeast, you have Downhill Southeast, you have Nico and Logan's program, and that thing is a complete monster right now. I would say it's held in the same regard as nationals, you know, or at least like a very top tier regional race. So I'm like, how
Yep.
am I fit into this? Where does this all work? Because I tried to run cross country races, I just couldn't break into that scene. And I'm like, maybe I just need to do something that I know, because I raced down Southeast from I think 2017, 2018, all the way to 23. And then I've been racing nationals like same amount of time. So I was my big thing with what we do is basically like catering to the amateur, like making the amateur athlete the kind of like the star of the show. They're the backbone of the sport. If we don't have our amateur riders or weekend warriors buying bikes, the pros aren't getting paid. That's what it's about.
100%. Yeah.
Um, and so
Kaysen, and I love the sound of that, man.
yeah,
Support the amateurs. Yeah. All right, let's do
yeah,
it.
and it became this thing where I had a conversation with Nico one time. I had him on the phone, and man, Nico's such a good guy. Like, I had him on the phone for 30 minutes, and yo, one second.
You're good. You're good. Take your time, dude.
Well, so while he's doing dog, okay, was that the intense taser that they were pushing at the motorsport shop?
No, it was Specialized e-bikes and
Okay.
Husky and Gas.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on.
So I talked to Nico about it. I'm like, hey, dude, like, what if I created a race series that was catered to the amateur athletes? We ran it on tracks that, weren't crazy risk take. Like, you didn't have to take any crazy risk, but they were still challenging enough that you had to put some thought into it. You can't just show up and win. And he basically told me that it was a really, really good idea. And he was like, dude, that's something that people have talked about because down southeast, they do a really good job of taking care of amateurs when they run Cat 2.
Harrison,
And
you were still working at the shop at this point, or
no,
you had
no,
you had already left,
I
so
was long gone.
you
Like this
weren't
was
doing it.
like,
You didn't have were you working somewhere else at the time that you
dude,
decided to
I
start
was
this, or
doing, what was I doing? I was doing like just odd jobs and sales
yeah.
consulting work. That's
Okay,
it. Like
so this was
anything.
like it's like in your mind, you're having this conversation. This is your next, like you're like, dude,
Yeah.
if it works,
I'm
yeah,
like, dude, I'm tired of working for someone. I
yeah,
need to
100%. I mean,
figure
you're
out my
looking at three people that work for themselves right now,
right.
so
Yeah.
And well, my parents are entrepreneurs, so I'm just like,
nice.
I have all the business advice and wisdom from them that I could want. It's like, why would I not? I would be stupid to not just try. And
Yeah.
so, the whole idea, like back to what I was saying, they do a really good job of like they have the Pro Cat 1 track and then a Cat 2 3 track. But I'm like, what if the whole show was just one track, everyone races it, and it's a good track that the pros like,
Right.
but it's also not challenging, not dangerous enough to the point where you have amateur athletes, these Cat 2 3 guys that are showing up and they're surviving. Like that was my biggest thing. I was like, dude, when I started racing, I wanted to have an environment where I could focus on racing my competitors and not just surviving the track. Because these
Yeah.
tracks
Yeah,
are
for sure.
gnarly. Like they
Yeah. That
are effing
That's a
gnarly.
good point, man. And like you definitely, I mean, you nailed it on the head. There is no like middle ground to like a super chill race and a
Yeah.
downhill southeast or even a pro level downhill race. I mean, there's people like go nuts, but they do it in a different way.
Hmm.
Uh, which they do great and all, but you're definitely like I mean, I'm not the sorry, I know you're still
No, you're good.
describing it, but yeah, I mean, I'm just agreeing with you in the fact that you're super smart to think of this idea.
Yeah.
So
Thank
so
you.
I gotta jump in too. My first time at Winrock racing, we come down middle finger.
Yeah.
And I'm like I was still on like a single crown. And so we did one run for seating, and I looked at like one of the drops and I was like, oh no.
Hmm.
And so I walk it for seating or for just practice. And then like it's seating time. I'm like, okay, I just gotta ride everything, right?
Yeah.
Here we are.
I want to eliminate
So
that.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
I come down the first drop, and I'm new to downhill. I may have done one race before, and I come over the bars, full on face smash, knock me clean out.
Yeah, dude. That's
I
rough.
chipped my tooth and and just full on concussed. So I'm coming down the trail. I'm like, why am I walking the bike? Like this is so easy. I could just ride the bike. Then I was
Yeah.
like, nope. Why am I riding the bike? This is way too hard. And so like my brain like switched back and forth probably like I don't know 20 times. I got on and off the bike just because I was super concussed. And
You
so
should have been
I
pulled
think
off the track,
exactly
dude.
what you shouldn't have to do that as a cat 2, cat 3. I
Yeah,
mean,
you should like
second
that's
time
not
rider.
yeah. I
That's
think
not
you
what
should
you
have
want.
gotten pulled
Yeah.
off the track. That's like the number one thing that I worry about is like athlete safety. I want
Yeah.
every one of these racers who come to a race that I put on, I want them to have fun, I want them to be challenged, and I want them to go home safe. Like that's my number one concern,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's our biggest bill is paying for medical.
Yeah.
Making
100%.
sure we have
Sure.
people on site to, if we need to extract someone, they're going to be taken care of.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, it back to where I was at. Um, I wanted to just create an environment that focused more on less on survival, more of like the camaraderie and competitiveness among people in your category. It's not necessarily, oh, I'm here to survive the track. Like, oh shit, it's raining. I'm here to survive. It's
Yeah.
more of like this is a really fun race course. I'm really excited to see what time I'm gonna get. You know? So it's been working pretty well so far. I mean, like our numbers for year one is like we're averaging around between I'd say like 90 to 100 people,
Dang.
That's great.
which is super
That's
sick.
awesome, dude.
Um,
So go back. I want to
yeah,
like really pick this apart because we do have some time.
yeah. As much
Like
as you want.
yeah, I mean like your first. So you talked to Nico, right? And you're like, this
Yeah.
is a great idea. So like, dude, I wouldn't even know where to start on
Okay,
how
so
how to start a race. So
the first thing that I did was um I had this thought where I was like, when I pitched that idea to Nico, I'm like, what if we ran a race at Rock Creek and Canoga? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. But in my head, I'm like, bro, I cannot put this on a favor. You know, like I don't want this to feel like a
Yeah.
favor. So
Right.
first thing I did was I had a connection to the bike park manager over at Sugar, and I pitched them a race. I was like, can we run a test event? And it was April, and we picked a date in August to run a test event, same year. So I went from running a backyard race series with like hand jam timing to like learning how to use zone 4. So I time all the races.
Okay.
And then like running everything, all the back end, like all the logistics and making sure things are where they need to be and people are where they need to be. So it was like I was just graduated and threw myself into the wolves, per se. But so I pitched it to Sugar. They wanted to run it. And I was like, cool, let's do it. So we ran it and we had like 40 people sign up. And I was like, dude, okay. I ran it super bare bones and we barely broke even. I was like, there's no way we did it, but we did it. Okay. So we
All
ran
right.
it and it was like, it was an awesome weekend. I got some great feedback and it was a really good opportunity for me. One that was like the first multi-day event that I'd ever ran. So like practice day and then race day. Like, how do you manage those two? I learned a whole lot. I got a ton of feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is fine. I love feedback. Like, if you have something to complain about, let me know because I want to make it better. You know, I want to make it so everyone's leaving happy. And then once I ran that, basically pitched this series and reached out to Canoga Rock Creek, which are basically the same entity, Jared's Rattlesnake, and back to Sugar. And so I'm like, all right, with those four, I can do 6 or 7 races, and we ended up with 7 this year. And so it's been really cool, man. I mean, it
That's
to
sick.
see the
What do
series
you
grow.
charge for an entry fee, Harrison?
Okay, so our entry fees, we don't do a seating day for downhill. So for
Okay.
enduro, I think it's next year it's going up. So it'll be 155, 145. And
Okay.
then for downhill is 145, 135. And the higher cost is for Cat 1 Pro, lower cost is for everyone else.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Understandable.
we cover lift passes for both days. You know, like we run a
I was
prorate bike
literally
park. Yeah.
we Ross and I literally got off a podcast this morning, like I just told you, and we were bitching about people charging a whole lot of money for a race that you have to
Yeah.
pay for a lift pass for.
I don't even want to
So
get into that because I think that is the biggest BS ever. I think if you're putting on a race, it should be a one-stop shop when you register for it. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's my firm belief. I will die on that hill.
Dude,
I
when I hopped on your website earlier last week and I was looking at it, that was like the first thing I looked for. I was like, are shuttle passes included?
yeah,
And I was like, because this will get, and then I saw it and I was like, awesome. So
yeah,
kudos for doing that and
yeah.
thinking about it. That's
I
killer.
mean, like on the back end, if you were to just speak about it really candidly, like, are we making less money because of that? Yeah.
Duh.
Is it harder because of that? Yeah. But is it really cool for someone who all they have to budget out is the race is the race registration, their Airbnb or wherever they're staying, and gas. Like
yeah,
it's so much more chill. I have a big issue with people charging what we're charging and then also asking you to pay the bike park full price lift tickets for both days. I don't agree with
yeah,
that. That's why we don't do it.
Well, and on top of that, what's kind of cool is that you're making these because you're geared toward the amateur, like you're
Yeah.
making the tracks rideable, and
Yeah.
so you're kind of reducing your equipment cost or your damage cost, right? You
Yeah.
ride something gnarlier and you're going for the win. Yeah, you're more likely to break something. So here it does make it easier on the purse strings too.
Yeah, I mean, and then we like this first year we really try to keep it within like aside from Jared's like a 4 to 5 hour driving radius. Like from any event or any venue, like the farthest distance to drive was like 4 or 5 hours. That was like another big concern of mine is also the attainability. Like if someone is going to go and compete at this series, you know, downhill southeast in years past when they ran at Mountain Creek, like dude, that's tough. That's tough when you're an amateur and you're like, dude, I gotta work. I can't take off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and drive back Sunday night and maybe work Monday on like an hour of sleep or less.
yeah,
You know,
Yep.
like to me, that's unacceptable, you know, but they have a different program. They're geared to a different subset of athletes. Like that's fine. I love that series. They do a great job with it, but we're going to do things a little bit differently. And it's
yeah.
basically
No,
just
you're
like,
not bashing anybody. Yeah, there's, I mean, people do all different kinds of things in the sport, and they
oh
don't do
yeah.
it
Oh
differently.
yeah.
So that's Yeah, there's
Um,
no hate comms.
no, not at all. I mean, I appreciate, like, if it's got two wheels and it goes, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Yeah.
No, we all just do it in a different way.
Yeah. No,
That's
for sure.
okay. I'm curious. So what's the I mean, I have 35 different questions. What is the attendance like as far as like I assume is there an 18 and under class that you run or an amateur
Yeah,
like a young
we run as young as 11. So we
Okay.
have
Okay.
11 to 14, and then we have 15, 18, and that's cat 2, 3, and cat 1 for that older class. And then we do like all the other normal classes going up. And then also something that we do that not many other series do is we run a vet pro 40 plus class. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
like an X pro or a cat 1 guy and you want to race
Dude.
competitively like the faster older dudes, it's
Yeah.
40 plus.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
bringing the moto to the MTB, dude.
I don't know why it hasn't been done before, man. I
That's
mean,
cool.
my whole goal with what we're doing is like if you've been to a Down South Southeast race when it was in 2018 and 2019 when they didn't have seating yet and it was just a 2-day thing and it was good vibes, no bullshit racing, that's what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that's
That
awesome, dude. And I
that is
really like that's like I just said, it kind of reminds me of like the moto. You go to like a local moto race, like they got
yeah.
40 plus, 55 plus. They got like
Yeah.
making racing
Oh,
fun. Where people don't have to be so freaking nervous about
It
racing a
should be fun,
like
man.
cat 3 if they don't need to or don't have to or whatever. I don't know what I just
Yeah.
said. Yeah, and I think that's great.
It should be fun. It should be a good experience. You know, I think you should be leaving the race weekend smiling, even if you watered yourself. I think. You
Yeah,
know.
100%. So Is it it's going well for you personally? Like, is the race series, is good? I mean, you're gonna continue this through next year, you think?
Yeah, we're working
Yeah.
on a schedule right now. We're
awesome.
working. It's so funny. The race series has an agent, so I'm working with an agent for sponsorships. It's tough, like rolling in there blind when I've had brands that I've worked with personally in the past, but then like just being like just it's like cold calling.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
100%.
incredibly hard to cold call, and
Yep.
I'm essentially, yeah, there is an equivalent value that the series provides to a certain sponsorship or however they may deem that necessary, but I'm essentially just asking for money to keep this thing alive.
Yeah.
That's like that's the most candid way that I can say is like, hey, dude, like we need to keep things like this going. Like,
Yep.
how can we do that, and what can I provide you on return on investment? Like, what do you want? You know?
So, follow-up question to that, this is gonna
Yeah.
be for everybody who's racing, Gravity Carolinas. What what is the most valuable thing that folks can do, if they enjoy the series? Like, social media goes so far, right?
Yeah, it's really
Um,
just resharing, posting, reposting. We have I mean, like our following is pretty small, but like on average, our Instagram page is getting 100,000 views a month, which I think is pretty sick.
Yeah, that's
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's killer.
Yeah, and like we push out media like a madhouse for as much of a small team we are. Like we're pushing out as
Yeah.
much media as we can and trying to keep it top notch and that like super, professional looking, really high quality stuff is like what I'm after. The best thing that people can do is to share it, is to tell their friends, is to sign up and come out, I mean,
Yeah.
like
Let's
that's
say
how
let's
going
say if
about other way of going about
somebody
it.
has a sponsor that they think might fit, and they're trying to get that to you.
Yeah.
What's the easiest way to like get in touch with Gravity Carolinas? Like, I'm
It
sure
would
there's an
be
email
Yeah, so it'd be just the email, either myself or just the company directly, which will go to me anyways. So it'll be info@dialedevents.com.
at
Um,
Dialed Events.
yeah,
Okay,
like you
because like,
guys, you have to also realize that this is just like a small part of the plan that I have for the next
Mhm.
5 to 10
That's
years.
awesome, dude. Yeah.
So
That's super cool.
yeah, no,
so
it's good
I
fun.
think so many conversations that people have like kind of die. They're like, oh yeah, this would be a cool sponsor for
Mhm,
whatever event it is. In this case, Gravity Carolinas,
mhm.
and they're just like, oh yeah, that might work. But actually, like kind of having that little call to action, and us being
Yeah, I
able to
mean,
like talk about it and giving them the confidence to either one come up to you or two be able to shoot you an email and say, yo, this might be a really cool fit. um, could maybe take some of that work off your shoulders or some of that stress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, anything helps. We get emails every day about whatever, customer service stuff or, just like feedback or whatever. Like we hear everything that's going on. Best thing that you can do is just email me or just hit us up in the DMs, and I'm super
All right.
on it. Yeah, I'm the guy running the Instagram, so I'm like really on it. I chase the feedback. I want it,
Yeah,
so
I wanted to say too, it's been like we don't know each other, but we definitely, like we said before the podcast started, we followed each other on social for some time, and like I have no affiliation. I don't live near you. I don't
yeah.
do anything in that, and it's impossible to ignore the content that is being put out by Gravity Carolinas. To be
Well,
blunt
that's
with
sick,
you,
dude. That's super
so
flattering. Thank you.
yeah, like it's definitely being put in my face, which as a person that runs a media agency and a marketing agency, that is amazing because you want it in people's faces like crazy, and it's
Yeah.
working because it's getting put in my face and I don't even really know who you are that, or have really any affiliation. So it's working, brother, and the socials are working,
Good.
and congrats on a successful journey so far, and that's sick.
Say that 3 times fast.
I know.
Yeah.
Successful journey so far. Um, Ross, if you didn't have anything else on the Gravity Carolina side, I kind of wanted to get into Harrison's like background as a person in a professional career at some point.
Yeah. I had a question kind of along the same lines of yours there, Kason.
Yeah.
But I think before we flip over, any anything else you want to say about Gravity Carolinas, man?
Just keep an eye out for what we're doing next year because I'm really trying to blow it up. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to double the schedule. I want to put
Woo!
like 10 to 11 races on the map this upcoming year, and we're working really hard to make it happen.
Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, I want to dive in because there's a reason we're doing this podcast this week, and we have a lot. Ross and I have a lot of connections because of where we live with
Mhm.
Jared's place and stuff. So I definitely want to talk about the race itself before we hop off, and Ross may be making an appearance too. We can circle back at the end as well for that event,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which would be sick. But yeah, dude, like tell us about yourself. I don't know anything about you.
Oh,
So
dude. Okay.
yeah, like start from like a job interview, dude. Like where
Yeah.
you come from,
So
you know?
I was born in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
Crazy, right? I lived
Florida
there.
boy.
Yeah, I lived there till I was like 15, and then my family and I, and my little sister, we moved up here to Charlotte, North Carolina. So this is where
Okay.
I stay, and I'm 25 now, and
Sick.
I've been all over, man, and I don't think I'm gonna leave because it's like we have good stuff here. There's like 10 really good motocross tracks within an hour and a half of me. There's 7 or 8 bike parks within like 6 hours drive, and they're all like top quality stuff. I have the
Yeah.
beach 3 hours away. The mountains are an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Like it is. I don't really want to leave, but like I do want to go out west at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, moved up here. It was kind of tough because I moved here sophomore year, so like meshing into high school was like kind of weird. I always kept to myself. I was never a good student. I was always that kid that I didn't have to study for anything and I was good to go. Like I heard it once and I'm good. Um, there was a couple classes that I religiously slept through and I pissed my teachers off by doing that and I still passed all the exams and it was chilling. I was good. Um,
I did this exact same thing, brother.
I
And
Three P's
and
in
I
a pod,
graduated
man.
yeah,
graduated on time.
I had a let's see. College. Yeah, my college experience was about 1 semester, and my parents were helping me through college. Super fortunate to have supportive parents. They were like, "We're gonna pay for your college if you want to go to school." I'm like, "Cool." My grades aren't good enough to go to a university because like I literally just don't freaking care about school. Like it's just not my thing. I want to be outside. I want to go ride my bike. I want to do anything but school. You know. But I always had this like like I never had like an issue with passing the big exams. My grades were just bad because I didn't do homework. Like it was just that.
Yeah.
So
You got the info, you just yeah.
yeah,
I get
so
it.
I went to community college for a semester, and then I kind of just had this like moment with my mom, and I'm like, "Hey, mom, listen, if um I'm not like if you keep paying for school, you're gonna be losing money or wasting money because I'm not gonna go to class. Like this is I'm not doing it." And she's like, "Cool, get your shit together or move out or do both." And I'm like, "Cool." So started working again, and then I moved out um like a few months after that, and I moved in with a like long-term girlfriend of mine, and then we had since split, and then you know it was just like bouncing from job to job. I'm like, how am I gonna? I need to climb some sort of ladder. I need to become something, and then that was like I'm already like 21 years old at this point once we had split up, and then 22, 23 came around. Things time started to fly. Like I was riding, racing. I was at
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
yeah,
And
I was
that's
racing
where
very
moto kicked
focused.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, my biggest issue with racing was always like my hands, like and like I would get really gnarly arm pump, and I always knew like I
Don't we
was
all,
quick
brother?
and like I could hold my own to like the first split, but then after that I would just fall off, and then it honestly was like a discipline thing. I just didn't have the discipline to train as much as I needed to train to like make shit happen,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
like some people don't really understand what it takes to be like a top, like a mid-pack elite guy.
Oh, it's nuts.
Like you have to want to train and want to ride like
Yep.
more than you want to breathe air. It's insane. Like that's the only way that I can
Yep.
describe it. I just didn't have it. I thought
Yeah.
I did, but it didn't work out.
Especially now, I mean, in the moto scene, you have to be homeschooled from a very young age. You pretty much have to go to a
Mountain
facility.
bikes are going that direction too.
Yeah, you pretty much
Yeah.
have to be in a facility at a very young age. You have to the parents have to be able to support you to travel in a RV everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's such a small fraction of people in the world that are actually able to even make it to being even close to being able to qualify for any like elite level
Dude, it's
race.
insane.
So
It's insane. Like if anyone's new to the moto scene who's seeing this and you see someone in the night show, like they are a bad dude on a motorcycle.
yeah, you bring
Even if
them to
they
any
swim.
you bring them to any local track, and they're putting a couple minutes on those dudes.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was racing through all of this, and then like the injuries started to just like stack up, man. Like I broken collarbone, cool, whatever. Broken scaphoid, cool, whatever. Broken fingers, broken toes, whatever. Chilling, like I'm so good. Like we're good with this. Gnarly concussion, shoulder dislocations. I probably subluxed my right shoulder like 8 or 9 times, and that basically means that it comes out, but not all the way, but enough to do damage.
Right.
So I stopped racing. I was a national champs in 23, and I was like, I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, it was the practice day before race, and I crashed and I cracked my helmet. And I was like, yeah, I'm good, dude. And I kind of looked at her, and we were back at the Airbnb, and I kind of was just like, we were just sitting there, like just chilling. And I looked over, I'm like, I'm done racing. That's it.
Yeah,
We're gonna go home tomorrow morning. We're just hanging out tonight. I'm done. And she's
yeah.
like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, that's it. I'm good. I'm done. Always wanted to stay in the scene. I just figured my brain will take me further than what my body can, which is why I started the race series. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, dude. No, I'm right there with you. I've broken a good amount of bones myself, but it wasn't up until I had concussion after concussion after concussion
yeah, it's
within
brutal.
like
I've
a
had two
2 year
big ones.
period that I was like, okay, like
My really big one was like a full on like you ever have a concussion so bad where you're in a full on depressive episode for like multiple
yeah.
weeks
I
and you
had
can't
one. I had one where I was like, I've never. You hear about concussions, and luckily now there's a lot of stuff
yeah.
coming out about concussions, and like the research about them is coming out, and it's being a little bit more socially available
Yeah.
and acceptable to discuss it. Like even hearing, Gypsy Tales had somebody on pretty recently that was talking about concussion, and concussion, like, oh gosh, like
Sure.
looking into it and like, yeah, actually, diving into it and research. Thank you. And yeah, so it's like now just being more prevalent to know that there actually is some mood changes and depression, and there is issues. And I just like, you're probably about to explain. I did have that after my last one at Jared's new property, and was out for two something minutes, and definitely saw a complete different version of myself.
Dude, I stuck my head on a rock in Wilson's Creek, like I was freaking moving, and
Yeah,
I kid you not, I was wearing a half shell, and know how it like kind of comes down into your temple.
yeah,
The temple on my half shell was smashed in, and I was like, dude, I could have died right there.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Straight up, I could have died if I was an inch, like if I was in my orbital bone, my eye's gone.
Yeah,
You know, if and more. You know what I mean? Like it was a really scary crash. But yeah, I had a full-on depressive episode from that, and I firmly believe to this day that it's just changed the way that I think in general. Like it's
I would
changed my
agree. I would agree with that. Yeah,
yeah, so I kind of packed up my racing, and then I was like, let's go into the business route. And right when I did that is when I started picking up the dirt bikes. I had never twisted a throttle until I was like 22 years old, which is like kind of crazy to think
yeah,
about.
it is kind
So
of
much
crazy.
crossover from downhill and enduro mountain biking in general into dirt bikes that it's like it was such a natural progression. And I think the other big issue that I had with mountain bikes is that I had been doing it for so long that I had stopped improving. Like I had been plateaued like for 2 years at that point, and this is really boring because I have to go fast enough to where I can get really, really hurt to improve at all whatsoever, and I have to do it on a regular basis. Like that's unacceptable, and it came down to also straight up, unless you're one of the best guys in the world, there's no money in the sport, you
No,
know.
Mhm.
Like these athletes are like you take Max Beaupre, like he's working for Sean and he's getting paid to ride and he still has to go to work. And he's an animal. He's been to world
yeah,
champs
and he's doing
and he's doing auto stuff. Like
multiple
he-
Yeah.
disciplines as
yeah.
well.
And so I'm like, if Max can't make a living doing this, like it's really effing hard. Like
Yeah,
there's no way that I can continue and justify the risk when there's no return on it at all.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I hear
So
you.
that's what kind of like stopped my racing career. And then I got into dirt bikes, and
Dirt bikes are fun, dude.
like
Dirt
Dirt
bikes are
bikes are
fun, bro.
rad.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm hooked on them, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're good. Yeah, I seen your new Yamaha, man. That thing's sick. Got the same
dude, it's
bike
gonna be fun.
essentially.
I have
Going to a 450 though.
so I'll keep the 250, and then I'm picking up a 450 soon.
Nice.
My 250, I have a full system on it, and then the power flow, like a twin air power flow kit. So it makes a little bit more power, there's a
Yeah,
little more pep in its step, and I'm at the point now where I'm just riding the thing full on, like almost revved out. Like if I'm trying to rip,
yeah,
and I'm like, my buddies are like, dude, you should just get a 450 because you would just get better. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm at the point
yeah.
now. It makes
Dude,
sense. So,
I've always said no to a 450. I have so much fun on a 250. I've rode 250s since like 2016, 2017,
the
and
issue, like with my riding style, is that I don't like having the bike wide open. I don't like having the chassis feeling like all
yeah,
bound up. Like I'm very much like like very
yeah,
smooth, like low throttle. It doesn't work on the 250, which I kind of hate because I feel like I'm gonna like break the bike. But I
yeah.
know
No,
I'm not.
100%.
But like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna break the bike.
Yeah, I don't, I guess I kind of ride similar, but it's like I just like the predictability of the 250. Like it's almost like it rides almost like a car where you can like very easily predict every RPM on the bike.
Yeah,
Like it's very rider friendly, and
yeah, I agree.
yeah, they're
I'm still
super
on the
fun to ride.
250. I have tons of fun on it.
I
I
know
just
you're not selling it, so
want
yeah, what am I arguing for?
yeah. I'm like, I just want something with a little bit more snap.
Yeah.
Something that is gonna like, it might scare me, and that's definitely gonna be a 450.
Yeah, dude.
So
If you've never rode a 350, a KTM 350 is pretty sick.
Those things are
I've ridden
stupid fun,
KTM's.
man.
I can't
Yeah,
get along with them. I really hate how KTM's feel. If Yamaha made a 350, I would buy it tomorrow.
I've heard, I've heard, I've heard rumors. Pretty.
Dude, I doubt it, man. I doubt
I
it.
don't know, dude. I don't know, bro.
They they have a
They
few
just
things
you
to
did
make.
you see they were
They need to
speaking
make a
of
302 stroke. And they need to make it 350.
Yeah. Did you see the concept bike they released today?
Yeah,
The
e-bike,
electric Yamaha?
Yeah, dude, it had a hydro clutch on it.
I know, it's crazy.
That thing
so does the new 450. The 2026 450 has a hydro.
I know, but I don't have the beans for that, bro.
I got to change.
Dude, I don't have the means to get a fresh bike, you know?
Yeah.
We'll get something used with low hours and run it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
With the hydro clutch, is that something that basically, like, with the electric bikes, you can, like, pop a clutch just like you would on a gas bike?
I wouldn't know. I've never ridden an electric bike with a clutch. It kind of doesn't exist right
now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I don't know.
Like, to where you can, like, disengage the motor, like, just like you would on a clutch?
I have seen, like, some trials e-bikes that it works basically the same.
Yeah, I bet you it's I bet you with the electric motor it probably has just like a regular mechanical transmission in it, which allows you to run a clutch. I would have to assume, like a hydro clutch.
Isn't the Stark like just like single speed? Like pretty much.
There's no. It's like a final drive type deal.
Yeah.
There are people like doing like clutch kits on Starks where it's basically they'll kind of just like set it up so that when you pull the clutch in, it kind of like instant kills the motor. So you can
that would make sense.
Like spoon it,
and it's electric, so it spools up instantly. But
and
I don't
then
really
you can just pop it back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I feel like it would ride kind of weird because there's no like you kind of want to feel the slip a little bit, so you can gauge power output. You know?
Yeah, that is weird. It almost seems like it would be like an on-off switch on an e-bike.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so dirt bikes have been super cool. I mean, I'm stoked on them.
Well, I'm glad you're stoked because I also am, and Ross is super big into motorcycles of all kinds as well. So
this might be a hot take. I do think that dirt biking is safer than mountain biking, especially downhill.
For me, it is because I'm way better at mountain biking than I am motocross.
I am too. I also think, dude, I've brought this up to people and they're like, yeah, that makes sense. Where on mountain bikes, how many times have you like hit the deck and you just have no idea what the F just happened?
Yeah.
How many times has that happened to you on a dirt bike?
Usually you just ragdoll and then you're like, oh, and then you're like, yeah.
For me on a dirt bike, I can feel the mistake coming up.
Yeah.
It's like
it's way slower.
It's way slower.
Totally right, dude. You're totally right. It's way slower. Like like it feels like 20 minutes before you're crashing that you're gonna crash soon. Like you're like the crash starts way before. On a mountain bike, if you crash, it's like
100%. 100%. And that's my argument for why dirt bikes are safer, to be honest.
I understand that 100%. But there's also the argument of like on a dirt bike, I'm like, if I see a jump that I'm just like don't want to hit, I'm just like, I'm not hitting that. On a mountain bike, I'm like, I could probably hit it. Like
I'll just pull for it.
Yeah. Like if I just go a little bit faster.
Yeah. I've stopped doing that. I'm just like, there's just no.
I've unfortunately got back in. I've gotten the progress state has happened again for me after all my accidents, which is good. But I gotta use this thing too.
Yeah. Dude, wait till you hit 40 and you start wanting to progress again, bro. It's a whole new beast because
dude, I'm just trying to get it so I can rip like by the time I'm 40. My whole goal is to just be the fast guy at the track that like doesn't race. That's all I want. I just want to be that guy that doesn't race and he's like quick on the track and it works.
Yep. Comes off with a smile and gets to have fun.
Yeah.
Ross rides sport bikes at the track all the time. 40 years old, man.
Dude, that's it.
And it's funny because go ahead.
Must I say, still absolutely rips on a mountain bike. Like you and I can pace. You and I could pace together on almost every trail. So.
Yeah, it was funny. Y'all talking about 250s and 450s. I'm like, because I got an R6, so I got a 600, and there's dudes that run in like the A group with me, and they're on leader bikes, and so it's funny because like they just absolutely fly around me. They're on 1,000, and they're sitting there at like 7,000 RPM. I'm wound out at 16,000, like ringing the thing's neck, trying to get it down the straight, and they're like,
yeah, I would say like the comparison is really similar. Like a 250 is basically a 600 on dirt, and a 450 is a leader bike for dirt.
Is like, a leader bike,
how I would describe it.
And you kind of, when you get on that leader bike, you kind of do things like a little slower, a little more methodical. Like you kind of like you were saying, you're using the bottom end torque of that thing.
Yeah.
A lot more. So I was sitting here just listening, and I was like, all right, there'll be a point where we talk about this. But yeah, dude, I definitely respect that lower end pull,
Yeah.
but I love to wring its neck,
Dude,
man.
it is
Like
really
the
fun to just,
R6 when it's screaming is
hit
so
some
fun.
valves
Yeah.
and on a 250 and just ride it at the wringing its neck out. It is fun, especially
Yeah.
on
I've also noticed too, though, Harrison, I've seen some of your videos on Instagram, and it seems like some of the tracks you guys have up there are a little bit more wide open and faster. Like a lot of the tracks I have around here, are like really condensed. Like even on a 250, I don't touch fifth gear. Like fourth tapped is like wild to be on a 250 out here because of how short and condensed our tracks are. So definitely
Yeah.
like
I
probably
mean,
where you could see that 450 benefit.
we have a good mix because we
Yeah.
have tracks that are like really tight that like I won't even get out of third gear. But then
Yep.
we also have tracks that I'm like, dude, I'm in fourth gear wide open, and I'm in fourth gear wide open on multiple sections on track,
Yeah.
and like
I have
really
almost nothing like that.
tops. Yeah.
Unless I go to like Monster Mountain or anything in Alabama. But like Big Spring,
Because I want to check that track out so bad.
yeah, it's sick. I rode it once when I was a bit younger, but it's been a long time. If you ever get the time, man, there's a track up in Blue Ridge called Fannin County MX. I don't know if you've seen it. It's not a super complicated track, but it's super fun. It's actually like Ezra Luska's local track, so him and his son ride out there a good bit, and
Oh, it's tight.
he
Oh,
tells
heck yeah, dude.
yeah, he tills it deep. And dude, I was riding on a Wednesday. I went out there like Wednesday afternoon. He's like posted, he prepped it. So I ripped up there and I'm just like, putting around, just like hit the jumps. That's all I do, man. Just hit the jumps. And then all of a sudden just, and then I see Lusk and I'm like, like,
That
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm like, that's crazy. He's out here. But yeah, it's good dirt. It's like good, it's almost like loamy, dark dirt, which is cool.
Dude,
You
that's
guys
the
got
thing.
clay up there, huh?
We have a lot of that like Carolina red clay, and
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
if you go out east, we have sandy tracks, and if you go down, we have like this weird clay silt sand type tracks, and if you go like northeast, we have like loam sand.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
then if we go like towards Hendersonville, it's more of just that clay BS, and then it starts getting really rocky over there.
Yeah. I love Charlotte, man. I was just there for SMX, but
Dude, I had to miss that race because we were running a race at Rattlesnake.
well, be glad you did because we got rained out, brother.
I heard. I watched the broadcast after the fact, and I saw that it was, wasn't too fun.
No, it was not. But it was just a bummer because it's like 5+ hours for me, or
Yeah.
and just the hotels and everything was kind of sucked, that whole deal. But it is what it is. It happens.
Yeah.
Well, Ross, you got a segue?
Yeah, dude, for sure. So we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier too. So Cason, CTS Media is how old?
2023, end of 2023, like December 2023.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're looking at like 2 years on branching out and kind of doing your own thing. Between my kind of gutter company and like starting this New Jersey brand, starting Shredded. Um, I'm going out on my own for 2 years, and I worked corporate for
Hmm.
God, I worked corporate 15 years. Worked for like Home Depot. I actually worked for Maxis for a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we did like marketing, all that good stuff, social media.
Cool.
It was fun. It took me a lot of places, which was awesome. Um, and then I worked for Porsche for a while. I was a drive coach with them for a long time.
That's
But
sick.
it was under that like corporate umbrella for me, and just kind of, I don't want to say it this way, but like, working for the man a little bit.
Yeah.
I hit that burnout stage. And so I think we're all kind of in that same boat, going out on our own, not working for the shop or the dealership anymore, right?
Mhm.
Um, what's been awesome about it, like there's so much to it, like that's freeing to me. And then it comes with its own struggles as well. Like we'll start with, what are some of the high points that you found going out on your own, working for yourself, and being able to kind of manage your own schedule?
Um, just the time. Like, you know, yeah, there's stuff that I have to get done during the day, but if I want to go do something that I normally couldn't, yeah, I'm gonna be working that night, you know.
Yeah.
but like it's the freedom and being able to pick and choose and to make things work for me is so cool. It's
Yeah.
so cool. Um, I would say like the toughest thing about it is if I don't perform, I'm not eating, like
Yeah.
I have to make things happen, right? And so I don't just do dialed. I have other things. Like I work for Zone 4. I'm a contract worker for them. And then I also do mountain bike coaching on the side.
Okay,
And
cool.
yeah, like I have other things going on. It's just like I I'm coming in on February of 26. That's year 3 for me for Dialed. And Dialed is basically the parent company that owns Gravity Carolinas,
Got you.
right? And so that's the company that I own with my business partner. And like just being able to make it so that I don't have to do anything else other than dialed stuff is the number one priority and goal right now. I'm so close to that. It's just like an extra 10% is needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, dude, I'll tell you, like, since I broke out on my own, it's yeah, you have the stresses, like if you don't perform, like, yeah, you
Yeah.
don't eat kind of thing. But I will tell you just overall, like in the last 2 years, my stress level, like I'm doing work, but my stress level just in life has gone
Yeah.
down.
I would agree.
Um,
Yeah.
and then also, like, my general happiness working on my own and, like, when I achieve something, like, that I've been working on really, really hard,
Oh, dude.
whether it's just for a single client or whether it's, on a little bit of a bigger scale, like for my own personal business, if it's something
Mhm.
like a goal that I've achieved, like, you get the recognition for it, like, you feel good about it. It's not like, your whole team performs well, somewhere and, they throw you a pizza party, right? Hey,
Yeah.
you made an extra $1 billion for the company, here's a slice of pizza.
It's a really
It
cool
feels
feeling to
so much
perform and
better.
to cash a big check. Yeah. Like that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, pizza parties are lame. I like going to the bank.
I
Yeah,
love
Pizza
I love
pizza
pizza, but I
parties are
like
lame.
cash more.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, like when we run a good weekend, the high is unreal,
Yeah,
right? Like when all the boxes are checked, I's are dotted, T's are crossed, everything's done, I can rest. Brother, that sleep after running a good event is unreal. So, like, we'll run our races and then I'll just take Monday, Tuesday off because I'm just wiped out. I'm,
yeah.
yeah, I can't do anything. And
Take the
so,
time to reset.
yeah. And I mean, like, people don't understand that like yeah, I'm basically working 3 16 17-hour days in a row, sometimes 4, and then the whole week leading up, like I'm just working all the way through the weekend. And then they're like, when are results going to be up? When is this, when is that? And I'm like, hold on, dude, like I'm still kind of delirious right now. I can't really put them on the website quite yet, you
Yeah,
know like they're going up, don't worry about it. But I mean, just that the pride that I feel when I know that I've done something good to the highest possible benchmark that I can achieve is like the most insane surreal feeling. And that's like I keep chasing it.
yeah.
That's what I want to keep doing. It's just doing my best. It's doing what I love and doing it the very best that I can.
And I think too that since I've gone out on my own again, whether it's like been the gutter business, whether it's like shredded with the
Yeah.
jerseys and that like wound up me and Kason doing this podcast. I've found that I I get to interact with folks that are like-minded,
Yeah.
way more, and I've found that the people that I'm around with my own business, have a lot more in common with the things that I do, and that for me, just being around those folks that you wanna be around, and I think it really shows, like, when we all do better, we all do better. Um,
Yeah.
like us simply just having you on here, me and Kason just simply starting this thing. Like we have we have all done better. We've reached audiences, we've talked to people, and the people that are listening to this, they're not forced to do it. They actually want to listen to this.
Yeah.
Whoever the 5 of them are, right? But
Hey
but
man, apparently Cam's Inc., dude. That's all I'm saying.
I
Did
knew
Cam listen to your
exactly
podcast?
what you were gonna say in that
Bro,
moment.
he reposted one of our reels and shared it on his story and commented on it.
Dude, that's sick. I have one of his old bikes.
Dang,
No
dude.
way.
So,
That's
okay,
sick.
so you guys know that guy Damon Iguanaga, I think is his name. Maybe I'm butchering that.
Yes.
So he
Long
had one
hair
of
and he gets
Cam's
rad.
bikes. He had
You say he gets mad?
No, he gets rad.
Oh,
dude, yeah. Apparently his ankles are made of glass, that sucks, dude, because he shreds.
Yeah.
But he had Cam Zink had this yellow YT2S in like 2017, and he rode it at nationals. He sold that bike to Damon, and I bought that bike off of Damon. I'm like, hey bro, can you sign the custom 26-inch carbon seat stay that like you cannot get? So I have a seat stay signed from Damon, but not Cam. And dude, that all of those guys are really cool. Like when I bought that bike from him
sick.
way back when, like he was really cool about it. I was like, so stoked. I was like, dude, can you please sign it? And he's like, yeah, man, of course, whatever you need.
Do you still ride it?
No, dude, that thing's sitting up he's in a storage unit right now because I'm still moving in.
Golly.
So I'd pull it out if I had it right now, but I don't.
That'd be pretty sick. Yeah.
I had a 2017 2S too. It was yellow, but neither one of those guys ever came anywhere near it.
Yeah. Dude, the bike was so beat up though, like cosmetically it looked horrible. But I was like, dude, this is Cam's old bike. Like, this is sick. Like,
That's
I
awesome.
can't get rid of this.
I bought a 303 World Cup Yeti, like an old one, and it was one of the X Pros bikes, and I got a hold of that thing and we got it in the shop and Sean looked at me and he was like, "We need to do a little work to this thing."
Yeah.
It was definitely rid hard, put away wet, and I did the same thing to it, and but man, it was cool just like knowing that you were on a pro's bike. Like it was a good feeling.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I mean, like, I've never been the one to like kind of like fanboy, like I'm just like, oh, they're really cool, and like I'm kind of happy that they're where they're at because they're so cool, But like, it was just like, all right, and that was my first downhill bike that I ever owned was Cam's old bike, and I was like,
that's sick.
I just thought
That is
that's
so
like the
sick.
coolest thing. I rode it for a year, and then I kept that frame. I was never gonna sell that thing.
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
like I kind of said in our first podcast, like the video that Cam commented on was us literally talking about. I had the opportunity to meet Cam, but also Ross and I were talking about how cool it was if you do have the opportunity to meet those free riders, because where we live and where we're located, like we have a lot of access to the downhill racers. Like you could go to a bike park around here and ride with Aaron Gwynn like 9 out of 10 times on accident, and same with Nico Mullally and all those guys. But meeting someone like Cam or any of the free ride, Kyle Straight, all those guys,
They're
for
a
us
cool
to meet
bunch.
them is like really hard.
I briefly met Braden Bringhurst before he really popped off.
Dude, Braden's a cool guy, man.
Dude, he is a really cool cat. Like I left because I rode the lift up with him one year when I was at Whistler, and I was like, dude, you're cool. Like that's sick.
Yeah,
Dude,
Whistler is you'll meet some folks there.
Oh, Whistler was sick. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Whistler like 3 or 4 times now, and
Yeah, that's dope.
I mean, it's always a good time, man.
Yeah,
It's
I know
sick.
Ross has been, and I had the opportunity to go recently too.
Good.
That's sick, dude.
I think
All
everyone
right, favorite trail in Whistler.
Yeah, probably like Dirt Merchant to Lower A-Line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, freight train all the way down, baby.
That's crazy.
Ooh, freight trains.
Ever ridden freight train when it's not rough as hell?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Freight train it must have been a minute since you've been to Whistler, because when I rode freight train, it was rough, bro.
Dude, that trail gets beat up.
Yeah, it was like
It
breaking
does,
bumps
but-
of all hell, dude.
Oh my god. Well, I may have got it when it was good, but man, that dude, freight train coming down, that was. And I think to fanboy out on somebody else, I did get to ride it with Jeremy McGrath. So that there may be a little bit of bias there.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that container step down into like the big shark fin step down to the right, dude. That whole combination, I think I felt like I was on a motocross bike, dude. I felt like I was on a dirt bike. I was like, this is awesome.
That's
I will
sick.
say it's a close, like, you guys ever rode the trails right outside of God, it's like where Dark Crystal started. You know where Dark Crystal is?
I haven't done much pedaling in the Blackcomb.
Yeah, okay, yeah, right. It's in Blackcomb, dude. There's some trails we rode over in Blackcomb that is like some of the steepest gnar that I've ever rode.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a pedal, but there is I rode a trail called Hey Bud. It's like a double black, just that you got to pedal to. But dude, it was one of the gnarliest, most fun trails I've ever done in my life, and it was like wild, like gnarly.
One year I lucked out in the position to go ride all the like the unmarked, unsanctioned shit in Bellingham.
Oh, that's
killer.
yeah,
Bro,
that's cool.
holy crap. The level of riding that's out there is insane. Like it was just like that. I saw some stuff out there that I was like, dude, I'm never gonna do this in my life. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's sick. That's how I felt. Like we rode Mount Fromm right outside of Vancouver when right before we flew out, and those like type of it's like really old school, like wood features, like type of
Ladies only.
Yeah, the ladies only sick.
I rode that one. Yeah, it was fun.
There's some cool ones out there. They're like barely pedally, but it's like type of trails that you just don't get to ride very often.
Right.
They're not super gnarly.
Really, really well.
Yeah, Bellingham's crazy though. That's sick, dude. That's a bucket list for me. And I want to ride Vancouver Island too. I've never rode out there.
What do you like? Do you guys sense like any changes in the scene? Yeah, I got a question. This is an interview. It goes both ways.
Send it.
Yes. I mean, like changes in the scene in terms of like racing at all. I don't know if you guys are around it.
Elaborate on this. Like, what do you mean?
I think the new crop of the younger kids that are rolling up into racing is like, I'm not a big fan.
Ooh, good stuff.
Dang, dude. This is going to be on Instagram tomorrow, dude.
Let it be on Instagram and let them all know that, like, being a super bro is, like, super not cool.
Owner of Gravity Carolina says younger generation sucks.
Yeah, the sport is so niche and trying to bring new faces to it. And a lot of these, like, super fast kids, like, have this, like, this attitude on them. And I'm like, where'd this come from?
I would agree with you, brother. Yeah, I don't want to sound like a grumpy old.
Like, you are not super cool. You just ride
24-year-old, but
woods, and you can do it pretty quickly. That's sick. You don't gotta be a dick.
No, yeah. I mean, I could throw out some names that are our age.
No names necessary.
Because, I'm not going to, but I could that are our age that are like that
that act the same way. Yeah.
They're the same way. I think it's just it. I understand what you're saying. I think it's on a person to person basis.
You think so? I think it's the way that the race scene is like kind of going towards more of that moto.
I was literally about to come out of my mouth that if you follow moto, it's the exact same thing. Everybody has the biggest ego you've ever seen in your entire life, and I think our sport is just growing, and with that with a growing sport comes people with ego and
absolutely. I mean
stuff like that. So,
well, like you take guys like Asa. Right, I've ran into Asa a handful of times.
I bet he's humble. I would just take a stab at it.
Asa is so cool.
Yeah, he seems like it on Instagram.
Asa is so freaking cool. Like he is really, really like, dude. But then, like, I've come across some juniors that
I'm just kidding.
maybe like you take a kid like Asa and he's like absolutely killing it. But then you come across a junior who like he can't qualify to get into the race. Into a World Cup. Like he's there at the World Cup, but he's not qualifying into making it into the final show. What do they take? Like top 20, top 30? He can't make top 30.
Yeah.
And the ego on that kid is like, dude, like,
wow,
you chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's the part that I don't understand, and that's the direction that I see a lot of the racing stuff going, and that's why I'm like such a big, hey, like we need to bring fresh faces to the sport. We need to bring the people that are scared. Let's bring them into the race series.
I see it at like a low level. Like I worked at a shop, and part of my job was running the events, pretty much free flights presence at the Georgia cycling events and the NICA events and stuff, and you'll even see those kids, dude, that are still middle school, high school, that are like winning their class, that are like, dude, be like, bro, chill. Like,
no, I agree. I mean, like, it's cool that I mean, props though, because all of these kids are like astronomically fast. Like, they are going so fast now that it's like, holy shit, dude. Like,
but also, I will bite my tongue because look at a video of Cason Smith when he was 17 or 18 years old and tell me he wasn't a dickhead.
Dude, like if you weren't a dickhead at 17, like you weren't really 17 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, dude, I was super cocky. I had an ego. I thought I was the best mountain biker in the world when I was that age.
Yeah.
And I mean, just recently, you know, humble pie.
Oh yeah, dude.
So,
I mean,
Ross,
I
what's your
think
take on this, brother?
I'll give you the old man perspective on it for sure, man. I think it's part of growing up, dude. I think
so.
yeah. And so well there's that, but I'm not thinking necessarily all of us as individuals growing up. I look at more of like as a society, us growing up, we have more technology, right? We have any bike you sling a leg over is a dope bike.
Mhm.
Um, the iPhones. I mean, we're podcasting on iPhones right now. We have less stresses to worry about as far as like
Mhm.
your daily needs, right? And there's a lot less hurdles. Hang on one second. This dog's about to knock a light over. Um, Yo, love. I've got a softbox over here, and she's like trying to walk over the wire, and that's gonna make a shatter. But I think we have kind of. I'm not gonna say more handed to us, but we have things that are more easily accessible. It
Mhm.
gives us less that we actually have to do. And so that gives us maybe like more time to focus on, I don't know, being a little
Stuff
bit
that
cocky,
yeah,
right?
it
Um,
doesn't really matter.
it yeah,
Yeah.
it frees up it frees us up to do kind of whatever we want.
Yeah.
Um, if that makes sense, right? And so I think it's not just a product of mountain biking. I see it as a bigger thing, like almost in sport overall. And I think there's a bigger percentage of people, maybe like in the pool, maybe a bigger percentage of people starting to maybe trend that way a little bit. But
Yeah.
I also think that there are some younger kids that are absolutely rad, that
Yeah.
are incredibly humble and like soft
The
spoken.
the
But I do
Steel
agree.
behind
I think the
bars.
percentage
Dude,
has gone up a
literally
little
on the
bit.
tip of my tongue, I was about to say,
Yeah.
say
That
Chico.
Wes and Cam
Yeah,
and his dad Sean, their dad Sean, and then they have a younger sister.
they're cool.
Coolest effing family on the
Yeah, they're
planet.
super rad. I've met
Sure.
them at Jared's a few times.
I had a conversation with Sean about like burnout and stuff, and he's like, it's so cool how he runs their program. I'm gonna call it a program because that's what it is.
It is,
He's,
dude. Look at their
you know,
social media accounts. Are you kidding me?
it's taking
It
a
is a
check.
program.
It is a program at this point.
Yeah,
And Sean basically explained to me like the reason why you don't see Cam so much on the social media is because he doesn't want to ride as much. Like that's
yeah.
it.
That's
And
real life,
he's
dude.
just like, dude, that's just how it is. He doesn't
That's
want to
real
ride
life.
as
Yeah,
much as Wes does. Like, I'm not gonna force him to ride. And he's just done trips with just him and Wes, and they'll just go out and go to these free ride events or go wherever and wherever there's something going on. And he's just like, yeah, he just wants to go and ride. And I'm just like, dude, that is the coolest thing
Mm-hmm.
because he's not forcing his kid to ride, and he's just like, I don't, this is for him. And I'm like,
yeah.
dude, like we need more people like that.
Yeah.
I do see a lot of people in this sport, especially as it grows, like that are pushing their kids to do it and with the expectation that it's going to become a living. And
Right.
like we're stepping into a really weird time, I think. Like you take Pro Downhill series, right? And Clay on his podcast on Vital, I listen to that a lot. That one podcast, I will re-listen to it over and over and over and over because he's a really smart guy and he's at the top of the food chain for the industry that I'm trying to enter or that I'm in. And he basically just wants to make it Pro Motocross MXGP, where they're both elite series, but just on different continents and their own thing. And I'm seeing Pro Downhill Series become that, which means Downhill
Okay.
Southeast is stepping up a little bit into this big regional thing where it's like, hey, like, like things are gonna start changing pretty soon, and then Gravity Carolina is just sliding right in underneath, you know. And that's kind of like the short.
It'd be like
That's
the
big picture right there.
SMX
Yeah,
next, dude. Like
right. And
futures,
so
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
like we're just seeing this like weird trend in the industry that like things are becoming way more professionally done with
Yeah.
like proper policies and just like a
Yep.
proper setup of how it should be when you compare it to other professional sports. And I'm really stoked. I'm really stoked that these guys are getting paid at pro downhill.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you look at the look at the number of people that ride mountain bikes compared to the people that ride motocross or dirt bikes, like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more kids and a lot more people in general. If you look at statistics that ride mountain bikes and cycle, yet we have a drastically smaller scene in professional racing
Yeah.
than the supercross and motocross or sport bike racing, you name it.
Yeah.
Mountain
The
bike
only
is
reason for that
mountain
is
bike is
'cause
just so
money,
far
dude.
behind.
It's because of the money, you know?
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
less money.
I
But
think
yet
another
we have
big issue is
Well, yeah, we have a turbo Levo that costs $15,000.
I think that's BS. You know, honestly, it's insane.
Yeah.
Dude, I can go to a dealership and buy 2 dirt bikes right now at 15 grand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, but that's besides the point. The reason that there's such a small emphasis on racing in the cycling industry or the mountain bike industry in general is because of the lack of accountability and openness with the financials and the lack of payment from, I think, sponsors in general to athletes. You know, like take a guy, one of my good buddies. He has like, I'm not gonna name him. He has like 100K on Instagram, and he's crazy free ride guy, super trials guy. He lives in the middle of nowhere. You probably already know who I'm talking about, but whatever. Dude can't find a paid gig. And I'm just like, bro, how is that possible when you have 3 million views on your account every month and you can't
I know. Yeah,
get paid?
I got
Like,
it.
how is that possible?
And then
You know?
like you're seeing some social media influencer come in and the brand wants
Oh
them,
yeah, I mean,
right?
I
Some
understand that though. Like, that's another completely different conversation.
Well, but like I heard this on on another podcast, and it was like, man, these people that are out there absolutely killing it, like
And they
can't get
can't get paid.
retained by they can't get paid, they can't get retained. It's
Yeah.
like when if the brand goes to a big a conglomerate, what have you, like the first thing that they're going to cut is like the marketing budget, and the
Yeah.
first thing in the marketing budget is not the influencer, unfortunately.
Right.
Um, it's that person that's out there like actually living it. That is a trend that I've heard some other people talk about. And
It's
it
brutal,
sucks. It's
man.
so
It's
unfortunate.
brutal. It
Yeah,
sucks.
Yeah.
I want athletes to get paid. These guys risk their lives. You know, like you take Adolf Silva's crash, bro. Like why is he not getting paid out for that? Why are the brands not stepping up, man? These are the promoter is a multi-billion dollar company and you're
Harrison,
telling
I really recommend you go listen to our first podcast, bro.
yeah, I'm dude.
We did have a conversation about that
Okay,
one.
cool.
That's
Then we can just brush past it, but it's super
No,
frustrating.
yeah, we
yeah.
felt
You know,
strongly about that as well. I was just making a joke.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the biggest things is like, I'm talking about all of this. Like, yeah, we need to pay athletes. We need to pay athletes. We need to pay athletes. Was I able to pay athletes this year? No. But did the series break even? Yes. That's the only
Right.
reason why we couldn't do it.
I would also like a good way to think about this though is the way I think about it is like
Yeah.
the aspect of like how the cycling industry is doing as a whole currently isn't like the best ever. It's probably actually
Right.
one of the worst.
Dude,
So
I think
you
it's
also
death by
have
its
to
own sword, to be honest.
do what?
I think it's death by its own sword. Like
Mm,
they're just like falling back on their own sword, and the issues that are in the cycling industry right now are self-imposed from the cycling industry. I think, honest. Yeah, there's supply chain
Yeah.
issues and
Yeah.
there are tariffs and stuff, but let's take it back to 21 when everyone ordered way too much and expected a massive boom, and it never happened.
Right.
And now we're in this weird rebound effect of everyone's really uncertain of what's happening, you know?
I
yeah,
think
So,
it's
I mean,
uh,
I don't know if that's like the cycling community is falling on their own sword. I think that's the way. That's the ebbs and flows. Like when there's demand,
yeah.
there needs to be supply, and when there's not supply, or you know what I'm saying. But like I don't
yeah,
think that's them falling on their own sword necessarily. I think the same thing happened to the motorsports industry. I think the same thing happened to
yeah,
the watercraft
Yeah.
industry. I think action sports in general took a hit after COVID
I think so too. Yeah, I
because of
agree
the
with you.
big boom. But I don't know, man. I think that's just the way the business goes. I don't think it's necessarily the business's fault. I think there was decisions made, and they were the wrong decisions.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like I think maybe I worded that a little weird, but we're on the same track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
But
that's cool.
I just like the industry's in a weird spot, athletes need to
The
get paid.
industry's in a weird spot, and the reason, like, we're really not explaining it very well is because there's not a good way to explain it.
No,
The
it's
way
not. Like
by you saying the industry is in a weird
Fair
spot is
enough.
literally because the industry is in a weird spot
yeah,
and
it's
because
it's really
nobody
strange.
knows what's happening. Like, and nobody's making money, nobody's buying brand new bikes. If you walk in a
No.
bike shop, you want a discount because you know you can get a discount.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time somebody paid full price for a bicycle.
Yeah, but how much have costs on bicycles gone up, you know?
Because they're selling less now, they're gonna push prices. Like
I
it
know,
it, it
man.
makes it makes
It is
sense.
that. But you know
Any
what's
other
insane? A
it's
GX build
wild
with performance on it and it's 6 G's out the door. Like, dude, give me a break, you
Yep.
know? Like that's
I
nuts.
I get it, brother. I mean, trust me, I'm lucky that I've worked in the bicycle industry for quite some time,
Yeah.
so I can,
Yeah.
get provided a discount. But otherwise, I wouldn't be buying a brand new bike. I
No,
mean,
I
Yep.
wouldn't. I'm on the same train of thought, man. It's not worth it right
I
now.
think
Like,
it'll be I think it'll be cyclical too. Like we're gonna see it ebb, we're gonna see it flow, kind of like what you were saying. And I think
yeah.
we're if the circle is vertical and not flat, right, then we're toward the bottom of that cycle. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens as you know, I've talked to a lot of folks like um kind of pro riders in the industry. Like one of the things that they talk about is like, should downhill be in the Olympics? Like they've been around this thing for a few times. And it's like,
It's
so
weird.
with that,
Push.
that comes extra exposure for the sport, comes lots of other things. There's the athletes' take on that. There's going to be the media's take on that. Um, but one thing that it would do, without a doubt, is grow the sport. But I mean, if we grow the sport, basically we're creating that cycle again, right? There's going
Yeah.
to be that boom in sales, and then nobody's going to buy bikes, and then it's gonna be cyclical. So how I think the question is, how do we maintain like nice, even, steady
I
growth, right?
off of that same topic and very quickly, I would also say in that same realm, like what Harrison was saying, and we both said that they made some bad decisions through COVID. I think right now you're seeing some very good decisions from the bicycle industry. I think there's very good signs, like when companies like Trek are like eliminated half of their SKUs last year, the year before, and
Really?
look at it was like 45%. It was something like that they
Yeah.
eliminated. Yeah. And then also look at a bike like the Fuel EX from Trek that now is 3 bikes in one using the same front triangle um
Hmm.
Yeah.
for all 3 versions of the bicycle. Um
I mean,
and
Specialized has 2 bikes that haven't updated in 6 years.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, you'll see Specialized eliminating some bikes, or eliminating some colors, eliminating sizes, and making some smart decisions in the same realm. Like we just spoke to Blue Mountain Bikes, we had a conversation of how little
Yeah.
product they displayed, and they're going more towards like the showroom specific motto, where people walk into a almost like a car dealership where you walk in and you just view the bicycles. You can ride a size of the bike. It may not be the color you want, um, but you can also, order the
Man,
bike you want without having so many freaking bikes. And now all these manufacturers aren't having all these SKUs. They're not having purple, green, blue, yellow, red. It's
yeah.
very dumbed down. It's very good for business, I think, on their side of things. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm literally looking at Pink Bike, and you talk about the YT thing, and YT USA is shutting down Revel. The Revel just went through. I don't even know what came out of that. I don't know if you guys know. I know the original owners tried to buy them back, but the same situation where they were struggling. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that, unfortunately. And I think Six is pitting down our way. These bike
Yeah.
stores, Outspoken, just literally, man, like people are having it rough. And
Yeah.
you
Oh
don't
yeah.
start eliminating product, and you don't start putting community
So
first, you're going to be screwed, I think.
I I think a lot of the issues in the bike industry, like the shops are just at the mercy of the manufacturer. There's situations like when I was working at that dealership, we were pushing e-bikes, like where there's a manufacturer and they were forcing us to buy bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then they forced us to buy bikes at the full I forget the word, but full cost for the shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they would come back around later and mark it down, like say, hey, you have to run this.
And then they don't give you a spiff on.
There goes all of your margin. And then then the shop is like, hey, I can't buy any more bikes. And then the manufacturer is like, tough shit, dude, you're out. That happened a ton.
No,
Well,
I know. The margins
the manufacturer, they're gonna, it's gonna roll around because then they're not gonna have a bike shop that's gonna sell anything. They won't have any place to unload their product.
Weird situation where you're losing bike shops, but you need bike shops to make sales.
Yeah, I think we're literally just explaining business.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nailed it. Yeah,
I think that's just how it works, unfortunately. But we're seeing it in our industry currently, which is part of it. And you're right. Right before I left Free Flight, and probably like literally right around the same time you probably left your shop, like those margins, like all of a sudden they're like, hey, here's this preseason, and oh, by the way, you get 25% margin on these bicycles now. So by the time you pay freight, by the time you pay your employee, by the time you do X, Y, and Z for these bicycles, you're making 10%. And then, it's like every year they shrink just a little amount.
Yep.
And then on top of that, they'd expect more, and that goes for clothing companies too. I mean, I can name 100 brands that are screwing retailers, but just
what are you going to do? Not supply that bike?
Do what?
What are you going to do? You're a Trek shop primarily. What are you going to do? Not have Trek bikes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're forced.
You're not.
You're stuck.
No, you're not.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. I don't know, brother. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but I think this is a good. Everybody's face. We're just like, shoot.
We dove down the hole, baby.
We're like,
we're going in.
All right, next is conspiracy theories. All right.
That's right.
Well, we have 10 minutes left.
We got some time.
Let's touch on this Jared's Place race you got this weekend, brother. I don't know if you know,
perfect.
but Ross and I have been very, very good friends. I would call Josh and Jared family of mine. And I do spend some time there throughout the week. I'm going there tomorrow to help the guys out. So I do spend a lot of time at Jared's, and I love those guys. So it's sick to see you coming down our way, which is like one of the big reasons we wanted you on the podcast, to kind of help promote the event and see what we could do to help you as well. So please kind of talk about the event. I rode the course. It's freaking sick. I love the course. And it's going to be fun. So yeah, go ahead, brother.
Dude, it's just, our normal program just at a new venue, right? So we'll have practice on Saturday and we'll run racing on Sunday. And, it doesn't get much simpler than that. My crew will roll up probably Thursday night, Friday morning. Really depends on how early I want to get out there, and we'll set up the whole track. I'm the guy. I'm taping the track too, man. I'm putting up trusses for the finish line and the podium background. We're doing everything,
all.
So, and then Josh and Jared have been awesome to work with. Those guys are really cool. Sometimes they're a little slow to respond, but that's okay. Like they're busy.
Busy boys.
I got to get a little sometimes, which is cool. I don't mind getting annoying.
They get a lot of DMs. I'll say that.
Dude, I want to listen, man. I need to get shit done, and sometimes
I know. I'm not taking up for him, dude.
It's
okay.
I'm like, all right. Anyways, but it.
Don't kill the messenger, dude.
Trail we're racing. I know the track, obviously, but I forget what the trail name is.
Backwoods.
Okay, yeah. So originally, we were gonna do a trail like off the top, and Jared was like, "Dude, we can just shuttle them in Tacomas," and I'm like, Jared, no, dude, that's crazy. Like, how is that gonna work logistically? So then we kind of funneled.
Jared is the king.
You need 5 Tacomas, bro. That's it.
I know.
5 Tacomas.
Yeah. So we funneled into this idea to run it off backwoods, and I'm like, let's just do that because that track is sick. It's definitely downhill bike worthy, and like we'll have a ton of fun. It'll be really cool. So we're racing that trail. I mean, I'm gonna reach out to a few bike shops last minute and see if they can make it, just to come out and have a presence. and it'll be just a normal downhill race weekend. We have practice from 10 to 4 on Saturday, and then we have racing starting at 11:30 on Sunday, and that's because time changes this weekend, and we're gonna have less daylight, so we need to shorten everything
Oh,
up just a touch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah,
wanted to add, man, that Will, the head trail builder, he added some sick for just for our audience, some sick new stuff. So if you're used to the normal backwoods, it's not the normal backwoods. So if you want a chance to ride a once in a lifetime trail from top to bottom, sign up at Gravity Carolinas. Is it .com?
yeah,
GravityCarolinas.com. Simple enough. I like it.
Yep.
And sign up, and I mean, you don't have to win, guys. Like, sign up if you want to ride a sick course. Come hang out. It's gonna be an awesome weekend. Um, the top of the course is completely fresh, so what you
yeah,
know as like the original backwoods is different. It's completely fresh, tan cut. It's very raw. It's like one of the coolest sections of trails I've ever rode. Seriously. And then there's also been some changes on Backwoods itself with some new rock features and stuff like that. It's going to be super fun to ride. So if you guys are available this weekend, definitely come hang out. Just sign up. You don't have to win. Let me say it again.
yeah.
It's just
I
fun.
am
Just
gonna
come
I
out and
am
have
gonna
fun. It'll be a good
shove that
time.
in your face, Kason, one day, dude. Where you're gonna be riding, and I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, Kason, you don't have to win."
Yeah.
Dude, that's coming right back to you.
You don't have to win.
So hard.
So another thing that people should pay attention about is that this is USA Cycling sanctioned event.
Mm,
And I can already feel the eye rolls, but listen,
I didn't know that.
I know. Well,
Why do you
there's,
get eye rolls?
dude, I don't think USA Cycling has a very great public opinion in gravity racing.
You can
Yeah,
always say pass too.
I would agree.
No, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, there's no reason to pass on
No,
them.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
just saying like it's true. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
the only reason why I sanction these races with USA Cycling is because I want our athletes an opportunity to have maybe less competition, but they can use the upgrade points.
They can use the points, yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Like if you're Cat 1 and you want to get your pro card and you're struggling to get it because you can't you can't, you go to the Tennessee National, you're not getting the results that you need to get upgrade points. You come to our
this
race,
is an opportunity.
it's an
Yeah.
opportunity. Like, we're giving out the same upgrade points as any other USA Cycling event, like Downhill Southeast, Pro Downhill Series. Like, it's all the same. It's just we're not UCI sanctioned.
Well, I
Um,
mean, people could argue that all they want, but what you're doing and allowing that opportunity is crazy
yeah.
good.
Well,
That's
it's like,
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm limited because if it was my choice, I wouldn't do it. But I understand that some of these guys are coming to my race because they need the upgrade points, and that's really important.
Yeah.
That's really important to be able to put them on the next stage where they can race the next category up and go try for a World Cup or go try for whatever they want to try for. Like, to be able to provide that opportunity is really important. I mean, USA Cycling sanctioning is expensive, but
Hmm.
it's worth it, I think, overall for the general ecosystem. And I do believe that
Yeah.
things are going to start changing as Clay gets his stuff more integrated with what USA Cycling is going to be for gravity racing. And I believe that that's going to happen. I just have no idea when. Nobody really does, except for him and probably a couple other key players.
Yeah. So,
So,
this weekend, really quickly, if people want to sign up for the race, gravitycarolinas.com, get your
yeah.
registration. Run over the schedule. You don't have to run over each individual time, but
Yeah, that's fine.
when does practice start and when does the race start?
So we'll have a packet pickup on Saturday, I believe, from 9 to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And then, or like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll have practice from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then on Sunday, we will have, I think, our group 2 practice, which is basically everyone who is not Cat 1 or Pro or Vet Pro. We'll race that early practice in the morning, and then we'll have another hour session practice after that, and then a half an hour after that. So like 11:30 a.m., we're racing.
So you can get there Sunday, get a
You
practice
can
run
get there,
and race.
do your 2 practice runs that you
Yeah.
have to do as a USA Cycling and race. Yes, that is a
Okay.
complete thing that people do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that was more of a selfish question because I'm trying to show up on Sunday.
Dude, do
And
it.
so I was thinking about like hopping in the race, and I'll make that decision by Thursday, to make it easy on you.
Yeah.
But but I was thinking about doing that, and
Registration
that was going
closes
to be my
Friday
big
night.
big question. Friday night, that's what it is. So last chance
Yeah,
for
Friday
everybody
night at
else.
midnight.
Friday
Registration
night
closed.
midnight.
Yeah.
And then if there's folks that just aren't members of USAC, do they, as far as the race goes, can they still race? They just don't get USAC points, or how does that work? Or is there
So
a fee?
so if you don't have a USA Cycling license, you can
Yeah.
buy a 1-day pass.
Yep.
And you can race, but you won't collect any points.
And those are
it's a
like
$15 add-on. Yeah,
that's
it's
what
just
I thought.
$15 USA Cycling.
Yeah, that's cool. I do a lot of, or I don't do a lot. I do some cross racing. And like if I get there like last minute for a cyclocross race, I'm just I've got the USAC, but sometimes they'll do that like $15 day of fee. But yeah, the USAC makes sense for the 1-day license. Cool.
Yeah, so just to clarify, you do have to have a USAC license to race this weekend.
Yeah,
the
they
one day.
sell you the
don't,
1
and
day.
you get a 1-day pass.
Yeah, no, 100%. I just want to make sure that's clear. Didn't they used to, Ross? Did they used to do that for? They've never done that for Quick Six, have they?
We're not
I don't feel
USAC,
like
bro.
No, I know, but I feel like I had to buy a license. Maybe it's Go Nuts, the Go Nuts races that I had to, one of them.
Yeah, because Quick Six is like we're just a one and done. It's not.
Yeah,
a
that was a really
It's,
stupid question, but I was thinking of our local races.
yeah.
Of course, Quick Six isn't USAC, but yeah, I think the Go Nuts I used to have to buy a license for when I raced those.
I think they may be USAC sanctioned.
I think they are.
Yeah, that follows, right?
Yeah.
But
no,
Killer,
not USAC anymore. They're not USAC this year.
They're
They
not.
are?
They got rid of it. Yeah, they got rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Old David's a good guy, man. David runs a good series.
Yeah, he does.
Has its place, definitely. Well,
Awesome.
hour and a half, brother.
Dude, we nail it,
easy.
like right on the dot.
Right on the dot, dude.
Yeah,
we do pretty good.
I know, we killed it. Harrison, brother, it was so nice to meet you, man. It was good talking to you. Thank you for taking the time with us as we start on this podcast journey. Thank you for being one of our very early guests. It's been good, and I hope everybody visits the Gravity Carolinas Instagram. And do you guys have a Facebook?
Facebook is mainly just like dialed event stuff. So
okay.
Main thing you want to hit is the Instagram and the website and our YouTube. That's
perfect.
It.
Yeah, you guys got a YouTube channel. Awesome. So Gravity Carolinas on YouTube.
Aside from like the media we put on Instagram, we also do like a long form race recap that's like between 4 to 6 minutes long.
Dude, that's sick. That's awesome.
So I don't know if you guys have seen them. Like we have like 67 subscribers on our YouTube channel, but like we're growing pretty rapidly, and the race recaps have been really cool.
Dude,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get on there and check that out. I haven't had time. Yeah,
I'm gonna watch them, but I'll put all the links.
They're pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty tight. If I don't think they look cool, like I'm talking to my video guy, I'm like, hey dude, this is not it.
This is trash.
Fix this. I am not gonna publish or produce anything that I don't think looks absolutely dope.
As you should. I
love it.
Well, I'll put all the links just for everybody in the show notes, so you can just scroll down below the podcast and visit all of those links and get signed up for the race this weekend. I will make sure to get this published before, well in advance before the race this weekend. Thank you again, brother.
Dude, thank you guys.
Cheers,
dude,
man. I
hope
we can
safe travels. Yeah,
dude.
Looking forward to seeing you Sunday, man.
Dude, for sure. It'll be a freaking riot. We're gonna have a good time.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
So,
all right.
All right.
Peace.
Deuces.